Welcome! The plants on this table are cacti that belong to the genus Rhipsalis. They are quite interesting because a stereotypical cactus has a very stout shape, has either a cylindrical or spherical body, and the surface area of a normal cactus is reduced in order to reduce the rate of evaporation, because cacti usually grow in deserts, in very hot spots and in very sunny spots, and every feature of a cactus is designed to store water, to preserve water, to reduce the rate of evaporation. And because where they grow is very, very sunny, they don't need to worry about the reduced surface area. They can afford to lose leaves, which in other plants are organs that assimilate carbon dioxide and water with the use of light in order to make glucose. And cacti, because they usually grow in very sunny spots, they can afford to photosynthesize in the cells of their stem because the light is so bright. And their adaptation is rather to avoid light by creating ribs that would cast shade on part of the stem, or to create woolly spines that will create shade also, and that will prevent scorching from the very high intensity light and from the heat. These cacti evolved from those succulent body cacti. They do not have leaves anymore, but because they don't grow in dry areas, on the contrary, they are epiphytic plants, which means they grow either on the tree trunks or on stone walls. So they don't need to worry about the evaporation because there is plenty of water where they grow. But what they do need, they need to increase the area through which they will photosynthesize, so their stems are still cylindrical, but the cylinders are very thin, and the surface area of their stems is much larger than the surface area of a regular cactus. And this is an example of how evolution, once it takes a certain path, there is no return. The leaves are lost. So whatever the evolution wants to do with these plants, or can do with these plants, has to be done with what is at the disposal of the evolution, which in this case is on the stem. And this is exactly what happened. They are all leafless plants, but their stems have different shapes in each of the species. I actually don't know which species is which. This one, I think this one is called the spaghetti cactus. I'm not sure, but this is how I bought it. This is how it was described at the store where I bought it. And this one is a mistletoe cactus. And just like in a mistletoe, there are white fruits or white berries. I'm not sure what it is. Here as well, the yellow structures at the very center of this image are fruits. The flowers were very insignificant, and they will become white at one point. And this plant is called a mistletoe cactus just because it resembles a little bit mistletoe. And the interesting thing about it is that it was introduced to all the tropical parts of the earth. You can find it in Africa, you can find it in Asia apparently, but its origin is America. It is a cactus and the origin of all cacti is America. And here is another Rhipsalis, which is a little bit darker, and its stems are a little bit woolly. It's a very beautiful plant, and maybe you can see it that at the very tips of these stems there are paintbrush-like structures, and they are actually flower buds, and this cactus will be flowering soon. The flowers are yellow and very tiny, and they should open in about 2 weeks or so, in about maybe 3 weeks. Maybe my next video will be about this cactus when it's in bloom. That would be nice. Okay, and here are the flower buds at the very tip of these stems. And here is another one. This one grows a little bit like a shrub, a very tiny shrub. But here in the middle, you can see there is a stem that is a little bit longer, and there is a longer stem here at the tip as well. And this stem might grow very long, just like this one, but even longer than this one, the one in the middle. And then at its tip, there will be another shrub-like structure made out of shorter stems. Very interesting one. This one is very old. This is one of my oldest plants, actually. It didn't grow much, but it's a very old plant. And here is another Rhipsalis. This one grows up for now, but when it's older, it will become pendulous, just like the other ones, just under its own weight. The stems will be pointing down, and here you can see that there is a new growth already. Very light green stems are growing. They don't undergo a winter rest. Because they are from tropical areas. Because they are epiphytical plants. They don't undergo a winter rest. Maybe a little bit less water during winter, but because I keep them on my windowsill in the living room, the air here is quite dry and the temperature is quite warm, so I do water them a lot. I do water them about as much as in the summertime. In the summertime, I keep them outside in a shady spot. Okay, so these are my Rhipsalises. I find them extra interesting just because they look nice. That's one of the reasons. But also, they are an example of unpredictability of the paths of evolution. I hope you find them interesting as well. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have a great afternoon.